Diablo 4, upon its release, was heralded as Blizzard's grand return to the ARPG genre. With promises of a dark, gothic world, deep character customization, and an expansive endgame, expectations were through the roof. However, just a few months after its first add-on release, Vessel of Hatred, the player base is shrinking. Meanwhile, Path of Exile 2 is generating immense excitement as it positions itself as the premier ARPG experience. Why is Diablo 4 losing players? And what makes Path of Exile 2 the better option for fans of the genre? Let's break it down. 1. The lack of endgame. Depth in Diablo. Diablo 4's endgame has been a primary source of frustration for many players. While the game features systems like nightmare dungeons, helltides, and world bosses, these quickly become repetitive and fail to sustain long-term engagement. There's a lack of meaningful progression or diversity in content to keep players invested beyond the main story. On the other hand, Path of Exile 2's endgame promises to carry forward the rich, endlessly replayable Atlas of Worlds system from its predecessor. Path of Exile's focus on providing players with an almost infinite array of challenges, map modifiers, and build experimentation ensures that the game feels fresh even after hundreds of hours. Recent information from Grinding Gear Games, GGG, confirms that Path of Exile 2 will also feature new endgame bosses and redesigned systems to make encounters more dynamic and rewarding, further elevating its replayability. 2. Simplistic gear and build customization. While Diablo 4 introduced some interesting mechanics with its aspect system and skill trees, its build diversity pales in comparison to what Path of Exile offers. The limited number of viable builds and skills in Diablo 4 means many players feel pigeonholed into specific playstyles. Furthermore, gear progression often feels shallow, with a reliance on RNG stats that rarely provide meaningful upgrades. Path of Exile 2, on the other hand, continues Grinding Gear Games' legacy of unparalleled build complexity. The combination of massive passive skill trees, ascendancies, and the revamped gem system offers players the freedom to craft truly unique characters. Recent developer updates have showcased how the active skill gem system has been completely overhauled. Gems are now socketed directly into weapons and armor, streamlining inventory management while still preserving depth. Additionally, new skill archetypes like shape-shifting classes and elemental warriors introduce fresh playstyles to experiment with, making Path of Exile 2 an even more ambitious evolution of its predecessor. 3. Poor seasonal updates in Diablo 4. Blizzard has historically excelled with seasonal content in their games, but Diablo 4's implementation has left much to be desired. Seasons in Diablo 4 feel underwhelming, offering minor mechanics or gimmicks that don't add substantial depth to the gameplay. Players often criticize the need to restart characters every season, especially when the rewards for doing so are lackluster. By contrast, Path of Exile's League system is one of its strongest features. Each new league introduces substantial changes, from new mechanics to entirely new game systems. These leagues provide fresh content while seamlessly integrating with the core game, creating a sense of evolution that keeps players excited for every update. GGG's recent demonstrations of Path of Exile 2's league integration have highlighted how it will continue to innovate, promising more complex, theme-driven mechanics that challenge both combat and strategy. 4. Monetization concerns. Another significant issue with Diablo 4 is its monetization strategy. Despite being a full-priced game, Diablo 4 features a cash shop with expensive cosmetics and battle passes. While these are cosmetic only, the pricing has left a sour taste in many players' mouths. Additionally, the lack of meaningful updates or free content expansions makes the game feel like it's asking for more than it gives. Path of Exile, though free to play, monetizes through cosmetics and stash tabs, which are widely considered fair and optional. Grinding Gear Games has built trust with its community by ensuring that all gameplay content remains free, and every dollar spent on cosmetics feels like a genuine choice, rather than a necessity. Path of Exile 2 will follow this same model, with Grinding Gear Games already confirming that its microtransactions will remain entirely optional, focusing on supporting the game's longevity without alienating players. 5. Community and developer communication. Blizzard's handling of community feedback for Diablo 4 has been rocky. Post-launch patches have often introduced nerfs that upset the player base, and communication around these changes has been opaque or poorly timed. This has left players feeling unheard and disconnected from the development team. Grinding Gear Games, on the other hand, has cultivated a strong relationship with its community. Regular developer streams, transparent patch notes, and a genuine willingness to engage with player feedback have earned Path of Exile a loyal fanbase. The excitement around Path of Exile 2 is a testament to GGG's ability to inspire confidence in its player base. Recent Q&A sessions with the developers have shown a clear commitment to transparency and a strong understanding of what players want from the game. 6. Innovation versus stagnation. Diablo 4. For all its polish and visual splendor, feels like a game playing it safe. It builds on the core Diablo formula, but doesn't take many risks or introduce groundbreaking new ideas. This lack of innovation makes the game feel dated compared to its competitors. Path of Exile 2, however, is pushing the genre forward. Its improved graphics, dynamic combat animations, and quality-of-life changes aim to modernize the ARPG experience without sacrificing depth. The addition of new boss mechanics, like multi-phase fights with cinematic transitions and sprawling, handcrafted environments, have given players a taste of what's to come. Moreover, the ability to play both Path of Exile 1 and 2 content seamlessly is a bold move that respects the time investment of longtime fans while inviting new players into a richer world. 7. Path of Exile 2. Early Access Hype. A significant factor in Path of Exile 2's rising popularity is the anticipation surrounding its early access. Grinding Gear Games has been meticulous in showcasing how the sequel improves upon its predecessor, from refined combat systems to entirely new campaign content. Recent feedback from players who experienced the hands-on demo at ExileCon has been overwhelmingly positive, praising the game's tight controls, visually stunning environments, and innovative mechanics. Unlike many early access games, Path of Exile 2 doesn't feel like an unfinished product. Instead, it feels like a well-thought-out evolution of the franchise. GGG has stated that they are taking the time to polish every aspect of the game before its full release, ensuring a product that will stand the test of time. 8. Path of Exile 2 is more than a sequel. One of the most exciting revelations about Path of Exile 2 is that it isn't just an extension of the original game. It's a completely reimagined ARPG experience. While it retains the core philosophy of complex builds and deep systems, Path of Exile 2 introduces a new campaign, significantly refined gameplay mechanics, and a greater focus on epic boss fights. These massive cinematic encounters represent a new direction for the series, putting players face-to-face with enemies that require intricate strategies, dynamic movement, and teamwork to conquer. Furthermore, GGG has emphasized that Path of Exile 2's campaign is not merely a prelude to the endgame, but a central, engaging experience in its own right. Players can expect varied environments, unique encounters, and large-scale battles that dwarf anything seen in Path of Exile 1. This approach aligns with GGG's ambition to deliver a world that feels alive, dangerous, and rewarding to explore. The addition of these large-scale, challenging boss battles transforms Path of Exile 2 into something more akin to a hybrid of ARPG and action-focused games, giving it a unique identity even within its genre. Combined with the freedom to explore the new and old campaigns seamlessly, it ensures that both newcomers and veterans will find something fresh and engaging. Conclusion: Diablo 4's initial success was fueled by nostalgia and high expectations, but it's clear that Blizzard has struggled to deliver a game with lasting appeal. Its lackluster endgame, limited build diversity, and uninspired seasonal content have driven players away. Meanwhile, Path of Exile 2 is shaping up to be the definitive ARPG, offering unparalleled depth, meaningful innovation, and a player-first approach to design. For fans of the genre, the choice is becoming increasingly clear. Path of Exile 2 isn't just the better game, it's the future of ARPGs.